Welcome back to the channel, gentlemen. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a fascinating story about coins, collectibles, and treasures you might already have lying around. Today, we're talking about something truly extraordinary, a coin from South Africa that is not just currency, but a piece of history, craftsmanship, and, yes, astonishing value. Now, let's set the scene. It's 2007 in South Africa. The country is thriving, the economy is evolving, and everyday life is moving forward. But in the midst of all this, a special coin is quietly entering circulation. On the surface, it looks just like a typical 5 rand coin. You might think, it's just another coin in my pocket. But gentlemen, appearances are deceiving. This coin is the 5 rand 2007, a piece that seems ordinary at first glance, yet holds a secret that makes collectors around the world sit up and take notice. You see, coins are more than money. They are snapshots of a nation's culture, a reflection of its history, and sometimes, if you are lucky, they are keys to incredible wealth. This particular coin is one of those rare instances. Now, what makes this coin so unique? Let's talk about its design. The obverse shows a remarkable image, carefully crafted to honor South African heritage. Every line, every detail was produced with precision, making it a small work of art. The reverse features the iconic imagery that you might recognize, but it's the subtleties in minting, the weight, the metallic composition, and the tiny, often overlooked details that truly set this coin apart. Imagine holding it in your hand. The cool metal, the intricate design catching the light. It's more than a coin. It's a tangible connection to the past. And for men like us, who remember when craftsmanship meant something, it's a reminder of the value of patience, precision, and attention to detail. But the story doesn't stop at its design. The 2007 5 rand coin is rare, and rarity is the magic word in the world of collectibles. Many of these coins were minted, but only a small fraction survived in perfect condition. Most were used in daily transactions, worn down by the hands of ordinary people, forgotten in pockets or drawers. The ones that remained pristine are treasures. They are the ones that can command not just hundreds, but sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars from collectors who recognize their significance. You might ask, why would someone pay so much for a coin? It's simple. People collect history. They collect stories. They collect pieces of the past that are fading from our everyday lives. This coin is a tangible piece of South Africa's story from 2007, a snapshot of an era that is already becoming history. Owning it is like holding a key to a secret world, a world that only a select few get to experience fully. And here's a little secret about men like us. We appreciate value. We understand quality. We recognize when something is rare, when something is significant, and when it carries weight, literally and figuratively. That's why this coin is so captivating. It isn't flashy. It doesn't shout for attention. But if you know what to look for, it speaks volumes. Every collector, every history enthusiast, every man who understands the thrill of discovering something extraordinary feels that connection instantly. Let's talk numbers for a moment, without giving away too much too early. Coins like these are graded on condition, rarity, and demand. Even a coin in decent condition can fetch a pretty penny, but one in near-perfect condition? Gentlemen, we're talking about numbers that will make you sit back and take notice. Collectors will pay top dollar for something that is genuinely rare, genuinely preserved, and genuinely historic. And the story of this coin isn't just about money. It's about discovery. Imagine stumbling across this coin in your change, in a drawer, or at a local market. Imagine the thrill of realizing that an everyday object you overlooked could be worth more than you ever dreamed. That's the kind of excitement that keeps collectors searching, keeps historians fascinated, and keeps us coming back to stories like this again and again. Now, the real magic of collectibles is in the story behind them. This coin comes from an era when South Africa was stepping boldly into the 21st century, when coins were still made with meticulous care, when each minting was a reflection of pride and identity. This isn't just a coin. It's a reminder of a time, a place, and the people who shaped it. And for men in our age group, it's also a reminder of how far we've come and how valuable certain things in life truly are. But let's bring it home. You've stayed with me through the history, the design, the rarity, the thrill of discovery. And now comes the part you've been waiting for, the value. If you have a 2007 5 Rand coin from South Africa in pristine condition, and it's the right version collectors dream about, it isn't just worth a few dollars. Gentlemen, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you this coin can fetch an astounding price. The market value for the right coin is a staggering $1,040,000. That's right, over $1 million for a coin that many would have tossed aside without a second thought. So, as you go through your collections, your drawers, or even just the coins in your pocket, remember this story. A seemingly ordinary coin can hide extraordinary potential. A simple piece of metal can hold the power to change someone's perspective or even their life. And more importantly, it's a reminder that value isn't always obvious at first glance. Sometimes you have to look a little closer, appreciate the details, and recognize the rare opportunities that come along once in a lifetime. Gentlemen, that's why we love coins. That's why we collect, research, and appreciate history. And that's why, if you ever come across a 2007 5 Rand coin from South Africa, you'll understand the thrill, the story, and yes, the incredible value it can represent. Remember, this isn't just about money. It's about history, legacy, and the joy of discovery. So keep your eyes open, treasure what you find, and never underestimate the power of a small coin in the right hands. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. There's so much more to uncover, and the next treasure could be just around the corner. And for now, gentlemen, keep in mind, the 2007 5 Rand coin isn't just change. It's a fortune waiting to be discovered, with a value of $1,040,000. That's the power of history in your hands. Imagine holding a coin that looks like loose change until you flip it. Then you see the fierce wildebeest, its horns swept back, muscles taut, captured in mid-stride. The design feels alive, like a moment frozen in motion. Around the edge, fine ridges provide texture, tiny detail that most might ignore. On its face, the year 2004, neatly stamped, marking an era not too long ago, yet already shrouded in nostalgia. In 2004, South Africa celebrated 10 years of democracy, and this coin was part of a special series meant to commemorate that milestone. This wasn't just currency. It was a reminder of transformation, of voices once silenced now lifted, of people who once dreamed now walking in freedom. Every rim, every engraving, every curve was meant to whisper history. Despite its commemorative purpose, this coin entered everyday life. It passed through many hands, pockets, tills, piggy banks, even the bottom of drawers. Many bore the scratches of time, the fade of metal polishing itself against decades of being exchanged, spent, forgotten. But some endured, preserved by collectors, tucked away in albums, living in protective sleeves, far from the clatter and clang of commerce. In those preserved specimens, the relief remains sharp. The wildebeest's muscles are well defined. The inscriptions are crisp. The luster still holds a soft glow, as though the coin remembers its journey through fire, change, and value. Condition matters more than you might think. Grades like uncirculated or proof separate the mundane from the extraordinary. Rarity is subtle and powerful here. It's not that the coin was never made in large numbers. It was in circulation. But very few survive in perfect condition. Few were saved with care. Fewer still escaped the wear of years. Some were lost, others damaged, many melted down or discarded. What remains has become scarce, and scarcity in collectors' eyes becomes gold. Add to that the story of symbolism. 10 years of democracy means more than a number. It is a story of struggle and liberation. It is a testament to voices rising, to unity tested and forged, to hope that carried forward. The design, not just the wildebeest, but the choice of honoring a milestone so deeply felt, gives the coin weight beyond its metal. Collectors don't just buy coins. They buy history, they buy identity, they buy a piece of something larger than themselves. Over time, whispers began. Someone in a far-off country posted an image of one near-perfect specimen. Another shared theirs tucked behind glass. Experts and amateurs alike leaned in. They examined mint marks, edge ridges, the tone of patina, the shine. Some believed they saw small variations, slight errors, misalignments in the double dies, tiny scratches that somehow enhance character. These variations, these imperfections, or their absence, became priceless. People began to ask, what is this coin really worth? Local markets priced them modestly. Auction houses saw bids increasing. Some offered in tens of thousands. Collectors crossed borders to secure them. The coin, once pocket change, became an object of desire. Now imagine that same coin being put on a global platform. A collector somewhere, having waited years, announces one of the finest known specimens, graded nearly flawless, nearly perfect in every way. The mint luster still visible, no blemishes to interrupt the details, the inscriptions sharp, the edge ridges crisp, the color undisturbed by time. A piece of metal with more heart than many works of art. The bids come in, silent, intense. Experts debate authenticity, provenance, condition. Photographs are examined. The feel of the coin becomes more important than the number stamped on it. Each potential owner imagines the weight of that moment when the gavel falls. Every coin starts as something commonplace, a piece of metal struck under precision, distributed widely, used daily. Most 5 rand coins follow the same script. Same size, same images, same weight, same purpose. But rare editions depart from that script. Perhaps there was a misalignment at the mint, or an error in the design, or simply a limited commemorative run issued decades ago. Those differences, small and minute as they may seem, are what elevate some coins from neglect to obsession. Think about scarcity. A coin may be minted with slight variations. Perhaps the date is off, maybe a symbol is misplaced, or the finish is unpolished in a way that escaped quality control. That small flaw becomes its unique fingerprint. Then think about historical content. Maybe it was produced during political change, perhaps during a shift in minting metal, or during an era of limited resources. These coins become pieces of history, frozen in metal, reminding us of times when design, economy, and culture intersected. Collectors are drawn to provenance. Where was this particular coin first issued? Was it part of an early mint run, maybe minted at a small, now closed facility? Was it used in significant transactions, passed through generations, or held by someone famous? When a coin comes with a story, its value multiplies. Without the story, it is metal and date. With context and rarity, it becomes legend. Condition is everything. A coin in pristine, uncirculated condition, no scratches, no wear, sharp details on its imagery, is worth far more than one worn smooth by pockets and time. Even small marks matter. The luster of the metal, the clarity of engravings, the sharpness of edges. These are what experts scrutinize under magnification. And when one of these rare 5 rand coins emerges in nearly perfect condition, the collector community sits up. Some editions were minted to commemorate events, anniversaries, cultural milestones, or important national figures. Those limited edition commemoratives often have features distinguishing them from standard circulation coins, special minting marks, unique dates, altered designs, or even different metals. These editions often appeal not just to numismatists but to anyone drawn by beauty, rarity, or the symbolic weight of history. Then, errors. Mint errors can occur in many forms: misstrikes, off-center punches, double dies, clipped planchets. Such coins are accidents that the collector world prizes dearly. A misaligned portrait or a doubled lettering might make the coin look odd, but oddity is gold in the eyes of those who seek rarity. Sometimes errors are caught early and removed from circulation. Other times they slip through, spread quietly, and years later those few that remain become enormously valuable. Imagine finally a collector, perhaps someone in a hushed room surrounded by display cases, holding such a version of a 5 rand coin. Maybe it bears an error, or perhaps it was part of a special run 50 years ago, brought back to the mint, but never widely distributed. Perhaps its metal has taken on a subtle tone slightly different than others. Perhaps its inscriptions are sharply defined, untouched by circulation. That coin stands apart. It draws bids from across continents. It becomes sought after in auctions. Experts verify its authenticity. Grading services examine its wear, its finish, its strike. If it passes the tests, the value begins to climb. Markets for rare coins are global. In specialist auctions, dealers assess every detail. In these rare sales, where bidders may be wealthy private collectors or museums, prices can surge. A piece that an everyday person once passed over might now be the centerpiece in a collection. Photos of such coins circulate on forums. Videos document minute features. Connoisseurs debate whether its edge finish is original or altered. As awareness of a particular coin spreads, so does its price. And then there are those exceptional moments when a coin believed lost or thought common is discovered in mint condition, carrying an unusual feature no other known piece shares. When that happens, the bidding can enter the millions.